Hello, everybody. This is Aaron Marshall.
Oh, and me. I'm Adalyn, his oldest daughter.
And
daughter.
Daughter Adalyn. That's Adalyn, my oldest daughter. She is how old?
I'm 12.
How old you are?
12.
You're 12. And we are headed over to the storage unit. We're buying a storage unit so we can pack some of our stuff up, and then the rest of our stuff's going in a moving truck in less than 2 weeks. Where are we moving to? Utah. So we are shooting a video as we're trying to document this journey of ours across the country and all the things that we're going to do in Utah as we start Ratio Christi chapters in the state of Utah and proclaim the gospel in the state of Utah. And so the move and all the things that we're doing now. Adalyn, are you excited, nervous, all of the above, none of the above, or something else about the move to Utah?
I guess I'm all of the above and nervous and other stuff because I'm going to public school there and I'm going to be in 7th grade in middle school and it's all the way across the state. I got that wrong earlier. I said country. So, yeah.
No, you said it was in a different country earlier.
Yeah, different country.
It is all the way across it's not all the way across the state. You got it wrong again. It's all the way across the country.
I really need to learn my geography.
We're moving to a different state. It's the state of Utah, all the way across the country. The question is, A, why are we doing it? And B, just getting up and moving across the country, that seems a lot for a party of 5 or a family of 5. Actually, not family of 7, 5 kids, 2 adults, that's 7. So the first thing is, why are we doing that? I mean, we believe that the gospel is true. We believe that Christianity is true for all people, at all times, at all places. We believe that Jesus was who he claimed to be, and that there's only one gospel, and that's the gospel of Jesus Christ, as laid out in the Bible, and that Jesus is God. He's not a created being. We shot a video yesterday. You can go on our YouTube channel and check it out. We're talking about the 5 major, there's lots more, but 5 major differences between biblical Christianity and Mormonism. And so we just believe different things, and if what we believe is really real, then there's nothing more important that we can do than go and share the gospel with Mormon people. The state of Utah is less than 5% evangelical Christian, and so there's a huge need for Christians to be willing to move to Utah to share the gospel. We send Christians on mission trips all across the world. In the summer, every week, mission trips from churches all across the country are going all over the world, and yet Utah is less than 5% evangelical, and seems like they're the forgotten land as people aren't sending mission trips to Utah. We're actually taking a group with us of 13 students when we go out there from UNCW, from a Ratio Christi chapter, and then we're going to bring a group out next spring or summer. If you're in the Wilmington area and you want to come out with our group from UNCW next spring or summer, get in contact with me, because we'd love to have you come out, and you'll see why doing mission trip in Utah and us going out there for the year to start these Ratio Christi chapters are so important. That's the beauty of live. The booty of live. I can't talk. It's been a long day. That's the beauty of live video, Adalyn. Okay, you just got to roll with it.
Awesome. Well, I make live videos because I have a YouTube channel too called Addie the Real Deal. It's amazing.
It's Addie the Real Deal. This is Aaron the Real Deal. The other thing is, I know a lot of people who just the idea of moving your family across the country is there's just no way. We've got too much going on, and there's no way that we could do that. And I think, if anything, I would just love to encourage people. Now, obviously, is it for everybody? Probably not. Maybe you're not able to that. But we were able to, in this season of our life, to do it. And really, the idea came to us. We thought about it. We prayed about it. Logistically, we looked through it. And then, honestly, we just went for it. And I think a lot of people... there's lots of things that they want to do in life, and they just get scared and they don't do it. And so, is it going to be scary? Yes. Is it going to be fun?
Yeah.
We're going to be able to explore all out west, and we're going to be able to meet all kinds of new people, and we're going to be able to have all kinds of adventures. And it's really just because we decided to just take a risk. And so there's a book that I really encourage everybody to read. It's called Decision Making in the Will of God by a guy named Gary Friesen. That's a longer version. A shorter version, same kind of idea, is a book called Just Do Something by Kevin DeYoung. And basically, it's this idea of decision making in the will of God, and how do I make decisions as a Christian. And I think that many people get bogged down with trying to quote unquote wait on the Lord, or open doors, close doors, or I need confirmation in my spirit, and so I think we're over spiritualizing so much of our Christian life, and instead what happens is we get paralysis by analysis. In other words, we don't do anything because we're so scared of making a wrong move. I think what the Bible teaches is really you've got God's sovereign will, which cannot be thwarted. I mean, what God's going to want to accomplish, He's going to accomplish, and so God's sovereign will is going to happen. In fact, you can't know God's sovereign will beforehand. I do know that it was God's sovereign will that Addie and I would be going to the self-storage place right now. Do you know how I know that, Adalyn? Because we're doing it. That's right. But I couldn't have told you what God's sovereign will was for 5 o'clock on Thursday, this morning. And so you're not going to know those kind of things. And so we just trust God in that. And then there's also God's moral will. God's moral will is clearly laid out for us in Scripture. And then I believe in natural law theory, and we could talk about that in further videos if you want. But I don't need to pray about, should I, punch Adalyn in the face, or should I cheat on her mom, or get divorced, or these kind of, we know what God's will is for these things because it's clearly laid out in Scripture. And so I don't need to pray about those, should I do those things? I know the answer is no, and I know certain things the answer is yes. So you got God's sovereign will, which you don't know, and what's going to happen because that's God's sovereign will. Then within that, you got God's moral will, which is clearly laid out for us in Scripture. But besides that, there's freedom, and we believe in Christian freedom. And so I don't need to pray. We prayed about it, but our prayer was, let's make wise decisions. Let's not make hasty decisions. Let's think through this. But what I wasn't praying is that this is the one decision that's God's will, and if I made a different decision, that would be outside of God's will. Like if we moved to Dallas, Texas, we'd somehow be outside of God's will, but if we moved to Anchorage, Alaska, we'd be in God's will, or stayed here, or whatever. We believe that it's going to be God's will that we move to Utah because it's going to happen. And so whatever happens with us when we're in Utah is going to be amazing, and we can work on our sanctification there. We could have worked on it here. So we don't have to be afraid to make decisions and to step out and to do things that are exciting. And one of those things would be moving across the country, right, Adalyn, and meeting all kinds of new friends and
making besties.
Making besties of it.
I make besties wherever I go.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're headed to the storage unit. We wanted to make a video. If you're interested in talking more about decision making in the will of God, and certainly my view, I would love to talk to you more about that. The book Decision Making the Will of God by Gary Friesen. You could also pick up Just Do Something by Kevin DeYoung. Both of those excellent books. And so we decided to just do something, and we're going to move across the country. So we're about to pull into the storage place now. So we will sign off. Adalyn, you have anything exciting or memorable to say as we sign off?
Follow my YouTube channel. It's amazing.
That's what you want people to do?
Yeah. And then you'll become my besties.
How many besties do you have?
Like 1 million.
1 million? How could
More.
they're not? I don't think you quite understand of the word best. If they're all your best friend, then they're.
I like to say
everyone?
Either one. You don't have a best friend. Well, sorry. Now I can't speak. Either one person's your best friend or everyone's your best friend, and you don't choose. So I say everyone's my best friend.
So that guy right there is your best friend?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. So all right. Well, this is Adalyn, and this is her dad signing off, and we will talk to you next time.
Bye. Follow my YouTube channel.